So when you pop on, please say hello. I'm coming to you from the east coast of Australia. And for anyone who's wondering, we are currently in lockdown. We've had a bit of an outbreak here in the last month or so, and so they've shut us down while we wait for this outbreak to get done. Anyway, it means that things are slowed down a little bit when it comes to in-person events. I haven't been doing as much, I haven't been doing anything when it comes to running in-person classes, but I'm still here live and I'm still doing classes on Zoom, and there's been lots of things to still happen. So when you pop on tonight, please say hello. Hello, Kay. Nice to see you. I'll say hello to a few people and then let's get this thing turned around. I would love to know, if you haven't joined me here before, where you're from. Let me know. Hi there, Cindy. Hello. So I've had a lovely weekend. I've been watching the Olympics, getting my track and field and swimming stuff going on. And what a great weekend we've had. It's been really good, really very exciting. Tonight, the 100-meter men's final is happening, and I'm looking forward to watching that. Probably that'll be the last thing I do tonight before I go to bed. So, yeah, it's been pretty cool. Anyone else watching the Olympics with me this week? Anyone else getting excited? Or is that not your cup of tea? You know what? I'm not someone who normally watches sport. I'm not a sport person at all, but something about the Olympics. Hey there, Michelle. Something about the Olympics brings out the, I don't know, reminds me of my childhood, I think, or those many track and field athletics carnivals and all that kind of stuff we did at school. You've seen it a bit? Yeah, I know. There's been a few very touching moments that really, yeah, make you a bit emotional. So I get that. But yeah, it's been fun. Enjoyed watching the swimming a bit today. And like I said, the men's 100-meter heats was last night, and the last heat of the night was very exciting if you're Australian. So yeah. Anyway, I hope everyone is well. You're not a sport person. I'm normally not either. We don't even go anywhere near sport normally, but the Olympics I kind of make an exception for. So yeah, it's been kind of fun. And what's been interesting is my very unsporty daughter. She's 18, not at all interested in sports at all, but she's been coming out and asking questions. We know, why did they do that? And what is, you know, we actually ended up having a really nice family night watching the Olympics last night. So there you go. So for those of you who are here on Friday night, I did a Facebook Live on Friday night, as I do every Friday night. So Friday nights is my Facebook night, and Sunday nights is my YouTube night. And if you were here with me on Facebook on Friday night, you would have seen we made a couple of cards using some DSP. I did use some, I made this card from the new catalogue. So this is the new Penguin DSP and punch, and also stamped his little scarf and put that on. And this paper, the stripy paper, is the matching DSP. That's a free celebration item. And then I've done some sponging over a mask down the bottom here, and it turned out really, really nice. You do love the Olympics? Yeah, I know. You know what? The interesting thing is, earlier in the year, I remember thinking, why are they having the Olympics? They shouldn't be on this year. They should scrap them. And, you know, it won't hurt us all to not have Olympics. And I kind of still agree with that. But I have to say, for those of us in lockdown, not able to go anywhere or do anything, it's provided a little bit of a ray of sunshine in our otherwise very quiet lockdown lives. So it's been a lot more refreshing than I expected. I was very much like you. I didn't think they should hold them at all. And now that we have them, I'm sort of glad that they're providing everyone with a bit of sunshine, a bit of Olympic spirit in a good way. So yeah, the penguins are super cute, Helen. I know, right? I love him. Look how cute he is. And can you see that glimmer paper, the glittery? It's called Bedazzling, that paper. And that paper is also a celebration item. Yeah. Yes, that's right. You know, all those years of preparation, and then to be told that the Olympics aren't on. I mean, last year, I'm sure they were all really disappointed that 2020 never happened, but would have been looking forward to this year as a backup. And yeah, I imagine that would be devastating to be told that it wasn't happening after all those years of prep. Some people have been preparing since they were kids, you know, all those years. So, all right, so let's get this camera turned around. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in on my computer so that I can make sure that I can see your comments. Oh, and there they all are. There we go. Oh, hang on. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. Give me a second. I'm just going to refresh the screen. That's better. Now we're good. It's telling me we're live. Hey there, Deb. Nice to see you, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. All right, I'm going to turn the camera around and let's make some stuff. Hey, Anita. All right. Now, pop this in here. All right. I also have a video I'm hoping that will go live tomorrow on YouTube. A video that does actually use the penguins for anyone who really likes those, and another product that I think they team really well with. Now on Friday night I had problems when I tried to put my AirPods in. We lost sound, so I'm going to be watching your comments really closely, and if that happens again, I will abandon that idea. But let me see what we can work out. They should click straight in. Okay, so have we still got sound? Do we have sound? If there's no sound, let me know, please. Or if there is sound, let me know. How could you let me know if there isn't sound? Yes, yes means there's sound. Is that right? I hope so. They should be working. It's said on my computer screen they're working, on my phone screen they're working. So there we go. All right. So the first thing I want to show you tonight, hooray, it's working. Some nights it does and some nights it doesn't, and I have no idea why. All right, I'm going to show you something that I really love, picking one of my favorite things out of the new catalog tonight. And this is called the Blackberry Beauty 12 by 12 Specialty Designer Series paper. It is absolutely beautiful. And I think we're frozen. Give me a second. Oh no, we're frozen. Oh, I know. I so love the paper too. All right. I had a little bit of a problem there for a second, but I think we're back. All right. So yes, this paper is absolutely divine. And it is a specialty paper, which means it's one of the $26 papers. And whenever you see a set in the paper in the catalog and it says specialty paper, the specialty papers are called that because there's something special about them. That's the easy way to remember. And in this case, this paper, I'll show you this pack first, even though this is a brand new pack. I've actually got another pack already open, but this one is easier to see the full sheets. So let's have a quick look. I know, it's stunning. All right, so first of all, whenever you get a pack of paper, any pack of paper from Stampin' Up, on the back label of the paper, it tells you, just below the title or the name of the paper, it tells you what colors are in it. So it makes it really easy to color match with inks and cardstock and all that kind of stuff. So the colors in this are Blackberry Bliss, Cinnamon Cider, Early Espresso, Polished Pink, and Rich Raspberry. So what I did before I started the video was I got out all the colors so you can see the colors that are in it, and this is them. So Cinnamon Cider, Early Espresso, Blackberry Bliss, Rich Raspberry, and Polished Pink. They're the colors in this paper, and it's kind of a, like, I don't know that I would ever thought to craft with these colors, but seeing them all together in a paper pack, they are stunning together. So it's a really interesting mix of colors. All right, now I'll pull those out again in a second. I will show you each individual sheet. So one side, this is the special thing. One side has this beautiful foil design on one side, and then the other side is a flat design. So both sides are lovely. This has got the Cinnamon Cider and the Early Espresso, and this side has the foil. And there's two sheets of each piece. So this one has some little foil accents, there's little birds, and on the other side, got the polished pink ferns with or leaves on the rich raspberry background. This one is Blackberry Bliss with the gold. And now this one has the Cinnamon Cider leaves with gold accents on a rich raspberry. I think it's rich raspberry. Yes, rich raspberry background. Sometimes it's a little tricky to tell the difference between the rich raspberry or the Blackberry Bliss. The other side has the Cinnamon Cider. I actually quite like this. Cinnamon cider is not one of my favorite colors, but I quite like it with the like the white or vanilla print on it. I think that's really quite pretty. Yes, Bronwyn, I know it's gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. Then we've got little gold accents, got polished pink, cinnamon cider. We've got a few colors going on here, and then on the back you've got your polished pink, kind of a hexagon, oh, little diamonds, like almost, what would you say, like almost distressed, a little bit of a distressed look on the back there. And then this one has the rich raspberry with gold, and on the back you've got like little branches on the back, early espresso and soft suede. No, I wouldn't have thought to put cinnamon cider in with those colors either. And I guess that's my point. When I put all the, because I do this quite often, I'll pull a pack of paper out and I put together all the colors that they tell me are in there just to see what they all look like together. And I think when you just look at the colors just like this, I don't know, not real sure about them. But when I see them like this with all the gold accents, oh my gosh, it's divine. So, sometimes it's about opening your mind a little bit to different color possibilities, if you like. All right, so this is the last one, this one, and I'm actually going to use this one tonight. This is like they remind me of baby's breath, these little flowers, and you've got some nice little like cottage flowers there, and then on the back you've got like holly. It's yeah, I think it is holly or something similar. Anyway, it's the same, like these little guys with almost like a Scotch thistle kind of a look, and then holly kind of leaves. Well, that's what's on the back as well, if you look up close. So that's rich raspberry and blackberry bliss together. That's kind of interesting, right? So, all right, so they're the colors in your paper. All right, so I've got a pack of it right here. I'm going to unplug this just for a second. Sorry about the finger over the camera for a second. All right, so this is the one I want to use tonight. These are all the different ones that I've just pulled out. And what's nice about these papers is that if you have papers and there's a few packs, like the Bloom Where You Plant, it has the same idea. You've got a design that goes from this side and a design that goes from the opposite side. So the idea is that you cut it straight down the middle at the 6-inch mark, because these are 12 by 12 papers. So you cut it exactly in half, and then you've got two half pages that are identical that you could use on a card. So let's get our trimmer in and let's cut this in half at the 6-inch mark. Now, this is our Stampin' Up! Trimmer, which is the current trimmer. I really like it. It's actually cheaper than the previous trimmer, which is always good when they decide to drop the price on something. I've been really happy with this trimmer. I think the blades last a lot longer, and you get 4 of them in a pack. So I don't have nearly as many people coming back to reorder blades like we used to with the old trimmer, and that's a good sign. So this piece here comes in and out, and when it's in the lock position like that, there's a little lip here, and if you put your paper up against that lip as far as it will go, so I'm not open, so you can actually open it out to measure right up to 43, 44 centimeters it goes out to, but if you've got it in the lock position like this, and you push this in against the lip as far as it goes up against this lip that's right here, that is the 6-inch mark. So it means that you're perfectly cutting so that we have that piece of paper exactly in half. So it's a nice little thing to remember when you're cutting this paper. Put it right up against the lip, and you know you're going to be exactly on the halfway mark for any 12 by 12 paper. So it measures exactly 6 inches. Onion weed. Yes, it is a bit like onion weed. You're right. I hadn't thought of that. All right, so how we put this in is kind of up to us. I'm going to go, so to get 3 across, I would be, because it's 12 inches, I'd be going at the 4-inch mark. So I'm actually going to do that now, but when I put it on a card that I have a piece of paper behind, I actually want this. Now I'm going back to centimeters. I was talking inches while I was talking about the 12 by 12 paper. Now I'm going back to inches because now I'm measuring it for the front of a card. All right, so this piece here, and I'm going to start from the other side, is going to be 9.5 centimeters wide here, because I'm going to have another piece behind it that is 10 centimeters wide, which is going to be my card front. So I need this to be 13.8. I'm not a big measurer, but that's as much. If you wanted to, you could have a bit more sky and less down the bottom here. So I've actually just had an idea. An idea just popped into my head, and I will see if it comes to fruition. All right, so this is, it's a very, very pale, almost a grey background, but that colour is not listed anywhere in here. And I was sort of looking at my colours, like what looks good, what would it look good on? Would it look good on the early espresso? Well, yeah, it would. Would it look good on the cinnamon? Yeah, not bad. Would look quite nice on the Blackberry Bliss. I think that looks really good. Even though there's no Blackberry Bliss in this, it kind of goes really well. Or you could even make it more purple on the Raspberry. Okay, so we've got a number of options for what we want to do with this. I'm not even going to entertain the polished pink. That's not the way I want to go at all. But there is another colour that I brought in because I think it would look really good. And where did I just put that? I had it in my hand literally a second ago. Here we go. Here it is. This is grey granite. Okay, now grey granite is not exactly the same, but I thought it looked rather nice behind this colour. So what I'm going to do is I've got half a sheet of A4 here, a piece of A4 that's been cut in half horizontally, and I'm going to fold this. This is going to be my card base. So I'm going to pull this colour in, even though this colour isn't in the colors that are mentioned in the paper. Doesn't matter. Sometimes you can find another color that works really well. And then we're just going to decide what color is going to go behind. So this is how this is going to be here. This is 9.5 centimeters wide. This whole piece here is 10.5 centimeters wide. So I want a 10 centimeter wide piece that I'm going to put behind it. Shall we go with the Raspberry? That's going to be a little bit more pinky, kind of purpley looking. Or will we go with the early espresso? Or I'm thinking, personally, I'm rather liking the idea of the Blackberry Bliss. That's how that would look. What do you think, guys? Does anyone have a favorite? Whoever answers me first will be the one that I choose. So we can go the Raspberry, we can go the Blackberry Bliss, or we can go the early espresso. Blackberry, done. And that's easy because it's already done. So thanks. Just made my life very, very easy. All right. So I'm going to put these together. I'm just going to use seal. You could use whatever adhesive you like for this. This is going to be world's easiest card. We've just got to come up with a solution for how we want to do our sentiment, and possibly a couple of little other accents on here as well. So I'm putting this piece. Here's a little bit of advice for you, a little tip. Whenever you are gluing something to something else, it's always advisable to put your glue on the smaller piece, the smallest. So don't put your glue on the Blackberry piece. Put your glue on the back of the DSP piece because that's smaller. And by doing that, you don't have to worry about getting glue down here around the edges that you're going to have to get rid of later. So always put it on the smaller piece and then attach that to the larger piece. Just a fairly simple little thing, but a lot of people have probably never thought about that. But I'm actually going to use seal here as well. When I first got seal, I wasn't convinced I loved it. I was a snail fan, and now there's no way I'd go back to snail. I love this stuff. It took me a little while to get used to it. I had to get used to how it works because it's not the same as snail. But once I got the hang of it, it's a much better adhesive and it sticks so well and doesn't lose its stick. Well, it hasn't in my experience anyway. All right. So actually this card is coming together really nicely. Can you see the gold foil on that? I think it looks really nice. All right. So guess what I don't have? I do not have the stamp set that matches this yet. I probably will end up with that one because I really like it, but that wasn't on my first run of things that I've bought from the new catalogue. So I'm going to find another set of words, and I have to decide. It doesn't have to be a Christmas card, this is something I do like about this set. It can be used for Christmas, but it's not actually a Christmas card. Does that make sense to everybody? So what would we like to say? I'm just going through a few stamps from my new catalogue. I mean, this is nice because it's got Merry Christmas, but it's also got happiest holidays, much gratitude, sending love. So you can have other things. That's really nice. Or cheers. Cheers could work for all kinds of things. Just seeing what else could be good. I've got so many nice stamp sets new that I'm just busting to use. This one's got nice things, but it's definitely Christmas. We've got warmth, joy, and happiness. It's the most wonderful time of the year, and the magic of Christmas never ends. Now, ideally, I'm thinking I would like something that's going to go, because I really have this this little punch in my head. I think it's a good size to use on here, and I'm just deciding how I want that to be. What do you guys think? This is the one I've been pulling out a lot lately, and it's because, in fact, yes, I think I'll go with this one. It's because I love the font that's in this set. So we've got Best Day Ever. What's going to fit on that one? We could have Hey Friend, or you are perfectly unique, or Thanks so much. Shall we do a thanks so much? Or has somebody got a different idea? Has anyone got a preference? First person in is the one we'll do. And because we use Blackberry Bliss behind here, I'm going to grab my Blackberry Bliss ink and pop that there. It would make a nice, elegant, sympathy card. Let me have a quick look and see what would be really nice, do you know, I just love a good thinking of you when it comes to the sympathy cards, because thinking of you just covers so many different occasions, I guess. Occasions isn't the right word, but yeah, it's just such a useful way to go. This one's got like, life has changed for you, but my love and support never will. That's actually quite nice. That's a beautiful one, actually, but I was after something maybe a little bigger. Has anyone got any ideas? Should we go with You Are Perfectly Unique? Yeah. Well, maybe we'll do that for today, but for the future, this would be a really nice sympathy card. You're right. So let's go with You Are Perfectly Unique today, but for a future reference, I am going to think I will make a couple of these up as sympathy cards. It's always good to have, in my opinion, this is just my opinion for what it's worth, it's good to have a couple of sympathy cards made up and ready to go, not because you're trying to tempt fate, but because when you are going to need the sympathy cards, you're probably not going to feel like making them. So it's good to have one or two in reserve, because you don't want to have to make those cards, right? That's just my take on it anyway. All right, so I've got a piece of white vellum here. I'm going with white vellum because I don't want to really cover up too much of this beautiful design. I would like to keep it, and you guys know I'm a bit of a vellum fan. Oh, now, something we do have in here is we have gold vellum in this same bundle, and I do have that. So maybe I'll grab that and see how that looks. So let's have a couple of options. The gold vellum is very nice. It's kind of got a bit of a sparkle to it. I don't know if you can see that. But all right, so I'm not sure how this is going to stamp on those. So let's see. You can see I've already used it once with this same punch. So let's try it with the Blackberry Bliss. About 6 handy. Yeah, it's something you really hope that you won't have to do very often. All right, so that actually stamped really quite nice, really nicely. I'm going to do it on the white vellum too, and then let's see which one we prefer. So I'll do both. What set? Which, the words that I'm using, or the Blackberry Beauty set? All this stuff. Which one are you after, Jenny? The Blackberry Beauty bundle, I don't have the stamp set that matches yet, or the dies, but I have the paper, I have the ribbon, I have the gold shimmer vellum. I've got a whole bunch of things that look rather nice with it. Now I'm going to cut this out. I'm not sure if I like the gold or not, but I thought it was worth giving it a whirl and just see how it turns out. And I'm also going to do the white. I usually come back to white vellum almost every time because I really love it. The thing about vellum is that it is less porous than your other cardstock. So that means it can smudge. It doesn't dry straight away. So you really want to handle it very, very carefully because it's easy to smudge it. And if you really want to, you could hold with a pair of tweezers and hit it with a heat tool and set it, because it will dry faster that way. So this is how this is going to look.
Is it competing too much with the background? Possibly. Now we have got some, maybe I am better off using the darker, the shimmer. So what do we think? The other thing I've got here is, have you guys noticed this is in the new celebration catalog? So on Tuesday is the day. So 2 days from now is when you can order your new celebration and mini catalog items. So everything I'm using on here tonight is a new mini catalog item. The paper is new. This DSP, the shimmery stuff, this is new. This stuff is new. So lots and lots of things are new. But some of the items are celebration items. And what that means is they are free when you spend $90 here in Australia. So if you live elsewhere, it might be a different amount. But in Australia, it's $90. Every $90, you get another free thing. And this paper is one of the free things. And I absolutely love it. It comes in 6x6 sheets. I've already cut one out here. What does this look like if I put it behind here? No, I lose too much of that. But I could put it so it just sticks out a little bit. That would be rather nice. So I might be able to play around with that. I'd like to do something with the shimmer. I feel like we might need to. But now the question is the white. Yes. No, it's not a stamp. This is paper. So this is the paper that I cut out. I think you missed me doing that. So it's really, really lovely. Can you see the gold foil on the paper? It's very, very beautiful. All right. So I do like this, but I am worried that it's competing too much with the stems behind. And so I'm wondering whether I'm better off to put something behind it. So let's just see. I'm going to do another piece. Oh, wrong punch. Helps if you use the right punch. So let me pull this out and just see what it looks like. So if I was to put this on top of this, this becomes a little bit more opaque. And that looks rather nice. Or another option would be using the grey granite. I have some of that. So let's see if that looks very different. So I'm kind of experimenting here, deciding which way I want to go. So this is how this would look. That's rather nice. That is really rather nice, I think. It's not shiny, not shimmery, but it's really pretty. And this is with the gold. So do we prefer it over the gold? Not that you can see the gold, but it sort of is still a little bit opaque. A little bit translucent. You can kind of see a little bit of the stems through that one. This one, of course, you can't see the stems at all. The SAB paper behind the white vellum? Yeah, well, that was another option, but I was worried that we were going to lose that. But maybe it is nice because you can see a little bit of it. Can you guys see that? You can kind of see a little bit. All right, let's try that. Let's do that and see how it looks. All right, so to attach this, I'm going to use glue dots. And I'm going to use glue dots. Let me find one. I'm going to use glue dots that are going to hide behind the writing here. So I'm going to use them right here. And I'm going to put them behind this print. Be careful that it is actually dry when you do this. You don't want to smudge them. Because, like I said, vellum tends to be a little bit smudgy. All right, so I've got a couple of glue dots sitting behind there now, and let's see how this sticks to the glue dots, because this is something I haven't tried before. All right, so I put that behind there. You cannot see it a lot, but I'm tempted to do. And if anyone's wondering, somebody asked me the other night about the Dazzling Diamonds stuff, this beautiful, this is a piece of it here, this gorgeous stuff, whether or not it if you can punch it out. Yes, you can, but the answer is only if you have simple design. So this is a simple enough design, and so I can punch this without too much trouble. It's very thick, and if I'll just need to use a little bit of oomph, but it's not too bad, okay? However, if you try and use it with this punch, because ask me how I know, I tried it with this one, the reindeer, and it was way too intricate. It did not go through. In fact, it jammed my punch. Easy enough to unjam it, but still, it's I have, whenever I jam a punch, I have that moment where I go, have I just wrecked my punch? And never have I actually wrecked my punch. It's always salvageable, but it just you need to be a bit patient with it and fix it up a little. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about putting a piece here. Let's cut this piece in half and having like a little accent on either side. So I'm going to put this one here and this one here, and then we've got like a little bit of dazzling paper on either side. So that's what I'm thinking I'll do. And you could use Tombow, you could use more glue dots. It really doesn't matter how you do this, but I'm going to put a couple of glue dots on for me at the moment. And I'm going to do one here. I'm going to do two on each side. One here. So what do you guys think? Is this coming together? I think it is. And one more. All right, so this is a pretty simple card. It's not crazy. All right, so I'm going to put this one right here behind this so it just pokes out a little bit. And then I want to have the same amount poking out on the other side. Just like that. And then this one. I'll push it in a little bit more. Yeah, about that, I think. There we go. Like that. Right, so this is going to go down here, and I do think that looks rather nice, but there is one more thing that I want to do. First, I'm going to use dimensionals to pop this on, because everything looks better with dimensionals. One. I'm going to put one here over this join. That'll help to keep those joins in the right place so they don't come apart. And I'm going to pop this down here. And because it's a bit of a special card, let's have one last thing. And this is also from the same suite, from the Blackberry Beauty suite. Absolutely gorgeous, this gold. It's almost like paper, this ribbon. It's got like a papery feel to it. And actually it's the same, for anyone who's wondering, as the other one that I used the other day, about a week ago, I think it was on Facebook, where I used the cherry cobbler in gold. It's the same, basically, the same basic stuff. This one's ever so slightly wider, I think, than this one, but they're both really beautiful. This one's got the cherry cobbler in gold. This one's just gold. So I'm going to go with just the gold. Right, it's coming together. Oops, got my fingers all in a mess then. Try again. In the meantime, my son's just gone out. I was meant to be picking my son up from work at 9:30. That's when he's scheduled to finish. And just as I was starting to do my live tonight, he texted me to say he was finishing at 8. So I've just sent my husband out, and he's just gone out to get him. There we go. Oh, how nice is this ribbon? It's just beautiful. Make it a little bit smaller. And it really is going to finish off this card. And on the other side as well. And then I'm going to put this on with the glue dot. So this is super, super easy card. It's just really designer series paper, a punch, sentiment, and a bit of bling, and a bow. That really is all I've done with this. Look at that. Isn't that ribbon just divine? Love, love, love it. I'm going to take this a tiny bit shorter. And this one too. Isn't that ribbon just beautiful? Look at that. Oh, it's nice. I'm very happy with this. All right, so this card will be up on my Instagram page and also my Facebook page. After I finish this video, I'll post those. Thanks for helping me with it. I think it turned out really, really pretty. I always love I love, it was actually an accident at the beginning when I started asking for advice on the cards. Yes, I could make them without getting advice, sure, but I just thought it was more fun to. It's a little bit like, has anyone ever watched theatre sports or improvisation? My son and my daughter both have done improvisation at drama classes, and where the audience yells out stuff, and then the actors on stage do whatever it is the audience has called out for them to do. And so to me, this is a little bit like that. I get the fun of doing something a little bit unexpected. So I don't always. It originally started because I was not very organized, and that's just the story of my life. That's just who I am. And so I found it really hard to have a card ready to go from scratch at the appropriate time because I had other things I was working on. So instead, I decided, well, at least if I have a bit of an idea and you guys then help me out by giving me some new clues or new ideas, then we'll end up with a card. And we do. And every single time, almost every single time, I cannot tell you how happy I have been with the cards that we've made together. I just think that's such a nice way to do it. It's a surprise for me. You guys get to see something different as well. So there you go. Thank you. It turned out really nice and it's simple. We love simple, right? Okay, so there you go. That's the card I'll be posting a little later. All right, second card, and I have less idea this time than what I did before. I thought I've got a number of stamp sets here that I haven't even used yet because I bought, as usual, bought too many. This is the one I used on Friday night, the Penguin Place, which has got the matching punch. And then we've got this one, the Peaceful Deer, that's also got a matching punch. We've got a few stamps that have got matching punches in this new catalogue, and I always love that. So I was thinking we'd do something with this, even though I did do a card the other day with that, and I think many of you were here for that. Was that a Facebook or was that a YouTube? I get them all confused. It was these cards that we did with that punch, and I stamped with this stamp here and then punched it out. And I did a cherry cobbler version, and I used that bedazzling paper again, which I think looks amazing. And then we did a garden green version, and once again with the bedazzling paper, I used the cherry cobbler and gold ribbon on this one, and I used the plain gold like the one we just used on this one. Okay, so you can see this paper in the background. This is actually paper that matches this stamp set, and this is another one of the freebie stamp sets. So let's start by having a look at that. And this is the paper, and it is in the Celebration catalogue. Like I said, it's a freebie, and so we've got some, these are not specialty papers. It's just flat paper, what they would call, well, I call it flat paper. Maybe I should find a better name. Flat paper doesn't sound very exciting, does it? But we've got your little reindeers here, and we've got some tartan or plaid, depending on where you come from, and some more of that here in the red. And then we have some snowflakes on that background. There's another one of those. And there's some white ones here with some tartan reindeers, black and red on the back. And then we have what looks like some trees, like birch kind of trees, and then some diagonal stripes on the back of that, Sahara sand and cherry cobbler, I believe is the red in this. Let me double check. Let's have a quick look. Basic black, cherry cobbler, garden green, real red, and Sahara sand. So there's two different reds in this. So maybe that's why I'm getting confused. This one looks like, I think that's cherry cobbler, where this one might be real red. It's hard to tell, but you can use them sort of interchangeably with this paper. And then you've got your garden green with your darker little Christmas trees on there. We've got garden green with some, like, almost looks like some spotty snow. We've got kind of snowflakes here, some geometric just patterns on the back, and you can see lots of really nice papers here. So one of the things we've got here in this white paper, you can see we've got these red and black kind of gingham or tartan reindeers, and depending on this is going to need a little bit of surgery. If I wanted to punch out one of these, and it punches out the ones that are facing that way, so to cut out this one, I would have to actually cut up there to get in there, and I'll do that because I'd really like to. So I'm going to get underneath him, And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to punch him out. So let's line him up as best we can. And then punch. And there he is. Okay. So I'm using some of the paper here for that. Now I'm not going to be using this background. You'd hardly see him. I mean, you've got the white outline, but I want to have something that's contrasting. So let's go with a different color. And I'm deciding which one to use. The stripes are good, the diagonal stripes. I'm going to also have another background behind him, so don't worry. Also, I like the little green Christmas trees there. That's quite nice. We have some snowflakes. Now the color in here is Sahara sand, which is interesting. So on the back, when we looked at these, Sahara sand is the neutral. So we've got black and we have Sahara sand, which are both neutrals. Garden green and cherry cobbler are both regals, and real red is a bright. Actually, no, it isn't. It used to be a bright. It's a regal as well. So we've got 3 regals and 2 neutrals in this pack for colors. So that's kind of a guide. I have discovered when I was using this paper, there's a couple of colors that work well with it. You can get away with, especially if you're not using as much of the Sahara sand, you can get away with crumb cake. It looks really nice with the cherry cobbler or the real red in these papers, and it looks really good. However, Sahara sand is the closer match, all right, and that's the one I'm going to go with today. So I'm going to fold this in half. I think so. A subtle background is good, Helen. I think you're right. Helen, you'll be happy to know I mailed those supplies on Friday, so you should get those in your mailbox hopefully tomorrow or maybe Tuesday. All right, I'm just noticing I'm a bit crooked here. Let's see if I can straighten this up. Is that better? Every now and then it bothers me. I noticed that for some reason tonight the video that's appearing on YouTube is quite a long distance. Like there's quite a delay between me actually doing it and it appearing on the screen. So I'm not sure why that is, but it just is. All right, so yep. So I've got this piece. I'm going to pop it to one side, and then I'm going to pull in the other papers. I'm actually leaning towards one of these, either the, and don't worry, I'm going to have something else behind here, I'm thinking, but I'm leaning towards something a bit brighter. So I maybe will go with the stripes. I think the stripes might look good, or the trees, one of those two. So this is a pretty simple, this is going to be a very simple card. So I'm deciding which way I want to go, stripes or trees. Bearing in mind that this guy's going to end up on there as well. What do you guys think? Stripes or trees? Anybody? Pick one. I don't mind. I guess it comes down stripes. Okay, we're going with they're very candy stripes, very Christmas, aren't they? We're going with these. All right, so that means we're staying away from the greens on this one. Now, there's a number of ways we could go with this, but I'm sort of looking at having just a strip down one side. So I'm going to get my trimmer. And I'm thinking maybe a small strip. So I'm going for 4 centimeters wide. And I want it to sit inside the others. So I'm going to go 13.8. A lot of what we do with cards is about getting the balance right. So I'm going to grab some, I was deciding whether it would be cherry cobbler or real red. Let's have a look at both. I'm thinking, see, this is the cherry cobbler. This is how it looks. And even though I think the colour on here is actually real red, it goes still quite well. And then the other one on here is the real red. Oh, maybe I will just stick with the real red. If I had to pick a colour that I prefer, it's probably, I like the cherry cobbler for like more of a vintage look with browns and dark greens. If I want something to look a little fresher or brighter, I'll pick the real red. So, oh, hello everyone. It's so nice to see people saying hi to each other. I always love that. So I'm going to make this one's 4 centimeters wide, so I'm going to go 4.5. And then we know it was 13.8, so this time we're going to go 14.3. So it's going to be 1/2 centimeter longer and 1/2 centimeter less wide. So I'm going to pop this on. This time I might just use some Tombow. It doesn't really matter what glue you use. Hang on, I notice my Tombow is a bit jammed up. Just fix that. Let's try this. There we go. Now, as I've said many times before, you may have heard me say it, the good thing about Tombow is that Tombow takes a little bit to dry, so you have a bit of a time to get it into the right position. And so if you aren't quite right at the beginning, you can kind of move it, like you can see me doing right now, so that it is a perfect fit before you push it down and it starts to dry. Right, so this is going to go right about here. Now, I want to put something behind here, and I'm thinking of pulling out a punch. I have a punch here. This one, I always forget what it's called. Is it the fancy label? I need to look it up and tell you what it's called properly. But I'm deciding what color I'm going to go with. We can go with the gold, like gold foil. I could do that. That might be nice. Or given that we have some white on here, maybe we will just go with white. And then I can also stamp on my white. So let's do this. Let's see how this looks. Right, so this is a cool little punch because it's a bit of a larger one, and I can have it going this way with the straight sides, or I can have it going this way with the straight top and bottom. I'm thinking the sides. So like this. This little guy is going to go right on top of there like that. Do we like the white? I think I do. I think I do like the white, but I feel like it needs something else. So I'm actually going to, got a couple of other ideas too. Another idea would be to go gold and use some of the beautiful gold 6x6 paper that we have. That's always a good choice. But I have another idea, and that is to use my masks again. Now, I used these the other night when I did the penguin card, so that's this little bit of masking down the bottom, and you can see the mask. There it is there. That's the one I used on the penguin card. Don't want to use that one tonight. This one's lots of little flowers. I'm thinking we're going to go with one of the like fancy florally ones. Last time I did a card, I think we did this one, but I think maybe a different one might be nice. And I want to have it, yes, I want to have this coming out here. Now, before I put this piece on, I'm actually going to use Sahara Sand, which is the same color as what's under here. So I'm just going to grab one that I can use for that. And my Sahara Sand ink, here it is. I'm going to pick up plenty of ink, as much as I can, with my brush. These are fantastic. I say this every single live, and I hope no one's tired of me saying it. These are the best things ever. So if you're looking for a really, really great way of blending and playing around with your colors and masking and all that kind of stuff, definitely have a pack of blending brushes in your collection, because they are so good. And the only bad thing about them is they come in packs of 3, and once you've got 3 and you've used them for a few different colors, you may decide you need to have more, because they are that good. They're fantastic. All right, so I think I'm deciding whether I need just the one. I think maybe I do just need the one. All right, so I'm going to put this right here, and I'm going to use move that out of the way. And I'm going to put my Sahara sand straight over the top. So you might need to do this a couple of times. If you move it, don't panic. My husband and son are trying to get my attention through the window, and I'm trying to not lose my train of thought. Let's try that. Right, so it's easy to put back on if you've moved it, because you can see where you were before. Yep. Now, if you're worried about getting any outside of this, what you can do is put a piece of paper right here so that it masks off that area, and then you can go right over that and it won't go onto any other part of your card. Now, I've just done the bottom bit. I want to show it to you what it's looking like. Isn't this nice? I have got a bit over here, but it's not the end of the world. And so this is going to end up on here. I just love the masks. And if you ever can't decide what to do with a card, using these is just they're really cheap too. I forget how much they are. They're not very much. They're very inexpensive, and you get 4 in a pack. And I think they're terrific. Yeah, me too. I use the blending brushes more than I use the others. I do still have a place for daubers, but I am finding that I'm using them more and more. And I'm going to just I don't want to go too far up with it because I don't want to get it onto, I don't want to get this on here. So I'm just going to use this over here. All right, it's looking good. Okay, so this piece now can go straight onto here, and I'm going to use my Tombow. What were you saying there, Bronwyn? Is there silver on the candy stripe? No, there isn't. It's Sahara sand and red. Let me read other comments. I should be reading as I go, but it's really hard to craft and read comments at the same time. Did you know that, guys? Actually, it's been pretty warm here today for those of you discussing the temperature. I think it got up to 25, which is great for this time of year. All right. Now, this is going to go right about here. And then this little guy is going to go in here. So it needs something behind it to highlight. That's why I've used the white. And because there's white in here, I get away with that. I'm going to use mini dimensionals behind my reindeer. So I'm going to grab a couple of those. One here. One here. And one down near his bottom. There we go. You just purchased a stand for your blending brushes. Well, that's really good. I have a stand that a really great friend gave me that she bought at Kmart. And I'm very grateful to her because I use it every day. There we go. Just like that. Right, and I'm going to pop that on dimensionals too, but I'll just use normal ones this time. Oh, I've got a bonus hair. That's not good. I think it's one of mine. It's usually one of the cats. But this time it's not the cat. I can't blame the cats. All right, it's looking good. Now, I need to put a sentiment somewhere. I'm just going to move that slightly. I need a sentiment. And you know what, we've got a whole bunch of ribbons to pick from. You know, we know, don't we, that we've got this lovely gold ribbon because we just used it. And I could use that again. But we have some other ribbon choices. This ribbon here, this is real red, I believe. Yeah, it is. This is ruffled ribbon, and that might look rather nice on this. This is a new ribbon in the new catalogue. Also, what else would look rather nice? We have some black and white gingham. Now that would look really nice as well. So we've got choices, guys. So let's have a look at a couple of ribbons and see how they look. I'm going to be doing the ribbons last, so I've got to do the words first, but I like the idea of the black and white. I think it's a little bit lumberjack, isn't it? But I do love this ribbon. I used it on my scrapbook page this week. Did anyone see what I did with that? I used it here on this scrapbook page when I was doing the quiet meadow. I don't know if you can see that. Gosh, there's a massive delay. Like, I think I'm about 30 seconds in front, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, you can see I've added this. I kind of wanted that country feel on this card from a photograph of Tracy Fjord in Alaska. So you can see that there anyway. But it looks nice sort of thrown in with other things. So I think that could work. And also this ruffled ribbon is really, really beautiful. I don't know how it ties though. I'm not sure about tying it. It might be better off, as an accent, coming out from underneath or something like that. But let me just see how it ties. Let's do this for fun. Hi there, Wendy. 9 degrees in Adelaide. That's pretty cool. I don't know what it is here. I haven't looked. Actually, this doesn't tie too badly. I thought it wouldn't because of the ruffle, but actually it's not bad. Look, see, that's not bad. All right, but first of all, we need a sentiment. So let's see what's in the reindeer set and how that might work. Wrong set. Let me grab it. So, and there's also this Merry Christmas set too. So I've got a couple of choices. So I have just a straight Merry Christmas. There was a Let's Celebrate, sending love and peace this season, which I do really like that. It's the best time of year from all of us, wishing you a wonderful year and friendships dear. So they're a little bit bigger than what it has it on the outside. This sending love and peace this season, I really like that. Let's see what that looks like. So that's where I could stamp it straight on, or I could put it on. Or I could pick one of the longer ones and put it on a strip, and the strip would look rather nice just down here. But let's try this and just see what it looks like. I'm going to pop this on a block, and because I've got black and red in my reindeer, I am actually going to I think I'm going to do black. Now, do I want to stamp it straight on, or do I want to do a strip? So let me cut this piece and let's see if I would prefer a strip. If I prefer a strip, I've got some long, thin sayings that would look good on that. So I'm going to go with a 1/2 inch wide strip of white. And the reason why is because when I use my Take Your Pick tool, which I seem to use a heck of a lot, that's this one. This has 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, and 1 inch strips. So this is something I pull out a lot. It's just really, really useful. It's the best time of the year. That's nice. Or just a standard Merry Christmas. Let's celebrate. Oh, they're all good. What do you guys think? Merry Christmas or it's the best time of the year? That's what I'm going to go. You think straight onto the paper? Actually, this is not crumb cake. This is Sahara sand. So if I was going to use that, I would put that right about here. But let's try it straight on and let's see how it goes. The only problem with going straight on, and some of you would know this, is that if you mess it up, you've then got to do a cover-up deal, because it's sort of like it's a one-time try usually. Right, so I've got that in black memento all inked up and ready to go. And because it's going straight on, I'm going to not risk too much and put it on a mat, which should give me a better. All right, so I'm going to go down into the bottom right corner. It says sending love and peace this season, which is rather nice. It's the best time of the year. There you go. That's how that looks. So I still think it needs something. Is it a ribbon? What do we think? Do we think the red ruffled ribbon? Yeah, you know what? It does need a ribbon. That's what it needs. I'm going to try the red ruffled and see how that goes. Internet is, oh, that's okay. That's quite all right. Let's move these couple of things out of the way and put my lid back on my memento because I can see myself putting my fingers in it and putting it all over my card. And haven't we all done that before? I know we have. All right, well, I'm going to use my, I just put my my special scissors, my good scissors, I put them down and now they're not where I thought they were. So I'm using my paper snips. Now, I can tell you, paper snips are not ideal for doing ribbon. They are, as the name suggests, ideally for paper. But if you use the very, very center here where the blade is sharper, you'll get at least a decent cut. But if you want, I always keep a pair of ribbon scissors just for ribbon. But if you can find them, that's really, really good. If you can't find them, you may have to do what I just did and use paper snips instead. All right, so I'm going to pop this on a glue dot, give it a push, take it off so the glue dot comes with it. And I'm going to attach it just down here in the bottom left. And then the only thing I think it needs now is maybe a little bit of bling. And when I say bling, we could go again with another piece of bedazzling because that's my current go-to thing. Or we could also just use some gems, like for example, some gilded gems, which are very nice and they're gold. So that's a possibility. We've got a couple of choices there. So here's my gold bling. That would look nice. So a few of those spread around my card, gold. Or the other option is to dig up some more of this gorgeous paper and throw it in somewhere. Like throw a little piece behind here or something. No, not piece this big, obviously, but you can see how nice this is. What do you guys think? Gems? Gems or more paper? I think everybody talking about vaccines all over the world at the moment. It seems to be the hot topic of the moment. All right, I'm going to go with the gems. Yep, and Anita said the same. There we go. So I'm actually going to put a gem right here because I kind of messed up that side a little bit there. And I've got a piece here and a little guy up the top. No, that's not the right position for that. There we go, instead. And you know what? Even though I've got this little piece here that I'm not very happy with, guess what I'm going to do to fix that? I'm going to make this a slightly skinnier card. I'll just take this one off for a second so I can put this through. And I'm going to make my card ever so much slimmer by cutting off that bit that I'm not happy with. It's card surgery. There we go. That's better. Happier now. And this little piece up here. There we go. Okay. There we go. So we ended up with 2 cute cards tonight. I have to tell you, this one is my favorite. And it's actually the simpler of the 2 as well. But I think they turned out nice. Do you like them, guys? I'm so glad. Hooray. So, how's everyone's week looking? What have I got going on? Well, tomorrow, if you're in my team, tomorrow I have my my Facebook Live I do with my team every Monday morning for anyone who happens to listen, although a lot of the girls just watch the replay. And we go over news and what's going on and how we're all feeling and chat. And, you know, basically it's a little community thing that I do for my girls. And then on Tuesday, that's the 3rd of August, and Tuesday is the day that our new catalogue and the celebration catalogue go live. Okay, so if there's anything that you're after, if you've seen anything tonight that you love, or if there's anything in the new catalogue that you love, if you don't have a new catalogue yet, please reach out. Let me know and I'll send you one. If you're in Australia and you don't have a catalogue, let me know. They're free and I'll just send it out to you. I just need an address to send it to. And then Tuesday, I can start taking orders from the new catalogue, which is pretty exciting. So that's really, really fun. There is, of course, a couple of other things going on. For example, if you are thinking about joining as a demonstrator, or if you just want to get a discount on your purchases, if you make a lot of purchases, think about joining, because it's fantastic. Not only do you get to be part of a community of girls, but you also get a lot of perks. So you get everything that customers get, but more. Okay, it's like being a VIP customer. It's a lot like that, actually. So do reach out and ask me if you would like that to be the case, if you'd like to do something about that, and I'll send you some info. And there's never any obligation. You can just do it if you wish at your own pace. So there you go. All right, so this is it for me tonight. I hope everyone has a great week. I do think if I have time, I'm posting something on YouTube here tomorrow, and a little sneak of what that might be is it's to do with the penguin sets and another product that we currently have, and I'm going to put those two together and come up with something. It's super cute, and I think you're really going to like it. So look out for that. That should get posted tomorrow. And then, of course, next Friday night, I'm back on Facebook, and next Sunday night, I'm right back here. So I hope everyone is well. Keep safe, whatever you are doing. If you're in lockdown, look after you. Do what makes you happy. And I will see you again soon. Bye-bye, guys.